moving into the NBA, where we have some stunning news from the ATL. The Atlanta Hawks today relieved head coach Lloyd Pierce of his head coaching duties. Lloyd Pierce was 63 and 120 in 2.5 seasons as Atlanta's head coach, including 14 and 20 this season. There was also rumors that came out that him and Trae Young could not get along in the ATL. But Sammy Sharp, I'm going to start with you on this first. Did the Hawks make the right decision in giving Lloyd Pierce the boot?
I think they would have done it last year. It would have made a lot more sense, seeing how their team was absolutely horrible last year, and they didn't even look like they wanted to be competitive last year. But they did promote a head coach that I really like, Nate McMillan, who got the boot from Indiana for no reason at all, in my opinion. But, you have Nate McMillan there as head coach on a young team. I'm excited. If I was a Hawks fan, I'd be excited. Lloyd Pierce last year lost control of the team, and the year before, the team wasn't competitive for the 2 years previous. And I wish Lloyd Pierce was able to see out the Hawks were able to see out with Lloyd Pierce through the end of the year. But obviously, it didn't work out. They obviously expected something higher, or the Hawks to be in a better position this year for the playoffs. But Nate McMillan is a very underrated coach in the league, and for him to get another shot, it's fantastic to see that, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. Congratulations to Nate McMillan on getting another head coaching job in the NBA. But Jon Mathis, before I go to you on this, let me just say this. I think that Lloyd Pierce deserved to get fired, but not now. I think he should have gotten fired after the season, because when you look at the Atlanta Hawks, they've been one of the biggest disappointments of this year. A lot of people coming into the year, with Trae Young and John Collins and, Bogdanovich and all the pieces that they added in the offseason. Everybody thought that the Atlanta Hawks would definitely be a playoff team, and even some people had them as like a potential 4th or 5th seed in the weak Eastern Conference. And for them to not even be not forget, 4th or 5th seed, for them to not even be in the running for one of the top, or for one of the bottom 4 playoff teams in the East is just ridiculous, and it's pathetic. And I think that this Hawks, with what they've started this year, it's not all on his fault, because the Hawks have been riddled by injuries all season long. But it is. I would say that he deserved to get fired, but I would have fired him after the season instead of, in the middle of the season. But hopefully this gives the whole Hawks a jolt. But Jon Mathis, what do you think? Do you think that Lloyd Pierce deserved to get the boot in the ATL?
I mean, it's the NBA. It happens. He oversaw a rebuilding project, for the franchise. And that franchise had a stretch of sustained mediocrity, before he even arrived to fill in as the head coach. Now you have Nate McMillan taking over, and I'm with Sammy right here, man. He's a very underrated coach. This might be another opportunity for him to take over and coach this young team. It's an extremely young roster, but I guess they felt that Pierce, should have done a better job helping his team get in position where they could win enough games, because they, did a lot of free agent upgrading during the offseason. They went on a spending spree this offseason to, get that team better and to surround Trae Young with more talent. The Hawks ownership expected more results, didn't see it, so Pierce got the boot. Now he's out, and now you have Nate McMillan in there, and I think he will be the head coach moving forward. I think he will get the interim label removed, and he'll be named the next head coach. Why wouldn't he? He did a good job when he coached in Indiana. I felt he did. I think he deserves another shot. Here's his shot, and I think he will make a change and he would be that strong voice that these young guys need. And if there's one guy that is more deserving of that, it's Nate McMillan. So I think this move was made for two reasons. You weren't seeing different results, and two, they know what they have in Nate McMillan.
Yeah, I agree with you guys on Nate McMillan. Nate McMillan is a tremendous coach, very, very underrated, and he's going to provide strong leadership to this young team. He knows how to take teams that are young and take teams into the playoffs and build them up. So I think that definitely he will be able to change the culture down there in Atlanta. The thing that I'm most looking forward to when Nate McMillan takes over is him being able to implement a defensive culture down there in Atlanta, because the Hawks, they have been, like we said, with Trae Young and Bogdanovich and John Collins and Herter and those guys, they're young, they're explosive on offense, but they're not good defensively, and you need a good defense to be able to compete for a playoff spot in the NBA. But Sammy, it looked like you had something you wanted to say. Go ahead, my man.
Yeah, I wonder if whenever they hired Nate McMillan as the assistant coach, because Lloyd Pierce was coming off, like I said, coming off a season where the Hawks did not look competitive at all through portions of that season, or they didn't even look like they cared on the court. I wonder if when they hired when they hired Nate McMillan, they had the envision of promoting Nate McMillan as head coach, as almost grooming him to be the next head coach. Because if you don't hire a coach that was in the playoffs, and I don't think he should have been fired from Indiana. He did nothing wrong. He was given a bad scenario. I'm pretty sure Oladipo was hurt during that playoff or during the NBA bubble, and they matched up against the soon to be NBA finalists Miami Heat in the first round. It's not their fault. They got bad luck. But they almost groomed him to be the very next head coach, with Lloyd Pierce having a 26% win percentage as the head coach with the Hawks. So I wonder if that was their motivation going in, because if you look at the Hawks now, they only have a 41% winning percentage this year. It's not like they're doing horrible this year. They're underachieving, of course, but they're not doing horrible this year. So I wonder if that was a motivation with the Hawks GM and management personally.